Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Look at this. A big cool down on the way. Record cold is possible this week.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh is here with us now. Bill, we're kind of looking ahead and we want to know how much are we going to have to bundle up here?
Well, you know, the record on Wednesday morning is 29 degrees, the record low. We could be tickling that record, if not even breaking that.
Oh, my.
We may not even get out of the 40s for Wednesday. So we have a first alert weather day now that we've called for Wednesday, mostly because of the cold. But we still have some rain to get through tomorrow. You ready for all that?
Rain first and then the cold?
Rain first, then the cold. That's the next big thing. It's the next cold snap. Here it comes, Frank. Look at this thing. Coming down from Canada, blowing in just like the last week's, but this one is actually a little bit colder. It'll be probably the coldest of the season as that winter air blows on into the southeast. So bottom line, let me show you some of these numbers as we give you that first alert into Wednesday morning. We're talking about 25 Kingstree, 28 at Monk's Corner. This is drip your pipes weather. Definitely check on the elderly, bring in the pets tomorrow night, and of course on into early Wednesday morning. Looking at 28 Somerville, Walterboro about 26, Orangeburg 26, still some 20s down along the coast, some low 30s. So bottom line, yeah, it is going to be very, very cold starting late tomorrow and on into Wednesday morning. In fact, we already have freeze watches flying for the Low Country all the way out to the coast. This is pretty early for this time of the year as we take a look right there. That, of course, is for tomorrow night into Wednesday morning at about, it expires about 10 a.m. on Wednesday. So bottom line, get ready for some rain tomorrow and then very chilly weather on the way. And windy, too. Grab the extra hairspray. We're talking about gusty winds, and the wind chills are going to be feeling really chilly, too, starting tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, but certainly all day on Wednesday. Now, more on that coming up in a few minutes. What about that drive home? We're watching that as well. Danielle Prince, how are we doing on the roads?
Well, it is a slow go as you're making your way through the crosstown, heading northbound into the downtown area, noticing bumper-to-bumper traffic. We do have a crash reported on the crosstown right at Cumming Street. So once you get off the Ashley River Bridge, bumper-to-bumper, so allow plenty of extra time if you're heading through that area. We also have a brand new crash just in West Ashley. This is right at Glen McConnell Parkway and Bees Ferry Road. Moderate pacing now, but do anticipate possibly those speeds to get a bit slower as you head through West Ashley. Here are a look at some drive times if you are heading out on the interstates this evening. About 18 minutes to get from Somerville to downtown. So looks great there. Perfect commute time on I-26 eastbound. That westbound side, though, a tad bit slower, but still not too bad. Downtown back to Somerville right now, that drive time is around 20 minutes. If you're heading out on 526, that westbound side also a tad bit slower, but also not that bad. Right around 20 minutes to get from Mount Pleasant to West Ashley. Drive safely.
Well, just in this afternoon, Charleston water system officials say there is another water main break. It's downtown at Ashley and Broad Streets.
They say this morning's break at Lockwood was actually 3 different breaks. They found one and fixed it, found a second and fixed that one, but they're now working on a 3rd break.
So crews say they hope to have the roads reopened by tomorrow morning in time for the rush hour traffic.
Also just into the Live 5 newsroom, one person dead after a crash in Colleton County this morning.
The State Highway Patrol says a driver was headed south on Ashton Road near Buckner Road. Troopers say that driver ran off the side of the road, hit a drainage pipe that runs under the road. Troopers say the car overturned and caught fire. We're still working to learn the name of the driver. Right now, the Charleston County School Board is considering more than a dozen changes that could affect thousands of students. Those proposed changes would close some schools, merge others, and eliminate the partial magnet status of several. We've got team coverage for you this afternoon. Alexis Simmons talked with protesters who wants the district to hold off on that voting for now.
But first, Ann, let's go to Rob Way. He's been in on that angry meeting. He joins us now live. Rob, more than 250 people inside that school board meeting. What's it been like inside?
Bill, it certainly has been contentious, and as you were just saying, more than 250 people inside, which means they had to open up 2 overflow rooms here at the district's office, and they were all filled. So you had people also standing in the hallways trying to listen in on the decisions being made inside, and you had a lot of those parents and community members get up to the podium to share their thoughts with the district, most asking them to slow down and reconsider some of these proposed changes. And those heated discussions were also happening between the board members. They were looking at all of these changes and each disagreeing, but they did start to vote. We have seen quite a few votes already this afternoon. Now, the board is now only one vote away from removing 5th graders from Hot Gap Middle School and making it solely for 6th to 8th graders. They also decided to consolidate 2 District 10 middle schools, so 6th graders would attend West Ashley Middle School and 7th and 8th graders would attend C.E. Williams Middle. Another change, which is set to be voted on soon, would close Minnie Hughes Elementary School if approved and rezone all students to E.B. Ellington, which is more than 13 miles away. One veteran says she left a Veteran Day event today to save Minnie Hughes.
How do you expect a child that's 4 or 5 years old to handle the pressure of travel time alone and be able to study and be productive in their work? In the Air Force, our core values are integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. Your motto or your values are supposed to be children at the heart of what you do. Live up to that.
Now, as I said, we are still waiting to hear how they vote on that Minnie Hughes Elementary School decision, as well as a whole list of others, including the partial magnet status of several. We'll have those updates as the board votes on them coming up on Live 5 News at 6 and 7. I'm going to head back inside, but live here in downtown Charleston, I'm Rob Way.
Hey, Rob, thank you. Some people say they want the Charleston County School District to be more open, more transparent.
Alexis Simmons was there as protesters gathered ahead of that big meeting, asking the district to postpone that vote.
About 100 people came out to protest earlier today right here outside of the Charleston County School District headquarters. They say they're standing up to CCSD and calling on them to listen to the people in the community and to slow down their decision-making process. In some cases, the board decided to postpone a vote or to take no action at this time. In a statement, the school district says in part, the process for the recommendation started more than a year ago and that for the past week there were community listening sessions to gather input and feedback. District officials say they are working toward improving educational opportunities for all students.
To suggest that the community has really had the requisite time to consider the proposals, to vet them, to provide feedback, I think it's pretty disingenuous.
And not everyone I spoke with is in opposition to some of these recommendations. Coming up on Live 5 News at 6 o'clock, I'll tell you why some people believe that some of these changes could actually help improve education for some students. I'm in downtown Charleston. Alexis Simmons, Live 5 News.
A 38-year-old man charged with murder this afternoon, accused of stabbing and killing 2 people, including a pregnant woman. Berkeley County deputies arrested this man, Anthony Lamar Gathers II. Deputies say they found the 2 victims in the driveway of a home about 5 yesterday morning on Clarine Drive. That's in Goose Creek. We're still working to learn the names of the victims.
The National Action Network wants the governor to remove Colleton County Sheriff Ari Strickland from office after his arrest for domestic violence. Now, state law enforcement agents arrested Strickland Saturday. He's accused of punching a woman in the face last Thursday and taking her cell phones to stop her from calling for help. Now, today, members of the National Action Network stood outside the sheriff's office to talk about the letter they sent to the governor today. They cited the state's high ranking in domestic violence against women and said the sheriff needs to be held to a higher standard.
That was his promise to the people of the county that he would do the right thing. And upon him saying that he would do the right thing, at any moment that he goes against that oath, then he must step down.
According to state law, the governor can suspend Strickland or any other sheriff if there is an indictment. Strickland is up for re-election next year. The Charleston County Election Commission has denied a protest in the election of the City of North Charleston mayoral race.
This decision came at a hearing which lasted about 5 hours today. Abby O'Brien was there and explains what happened.
2 protests happen here today. This is a time when candidates can dispute the election results. The first was Jesse Williams, who was running for a city council seat in North Charleston. His protest was denied. The second was for John Singletary. He came in second to incumbent Mayor Keith Summey. During his protest, he called several witnesses and submitted videos claiming some voters got the wrong ballot style at a Dorchester County polling location. He also says his name didn't appear in some ballots at some locations and claimed some poll workers denied qualified African American voters from voting in North Charleston. In the end, though, his protest was denied,
because we did not find that he presented sufficient evidence to demonstrate that the outcome of the election was affected by the irregularities that he submitted to evidence.
Singletary says he will appeal this decision and he has 10 days to do so. After the hearing, I asked him if he wanted to give any comments, but he said he refused to speak with Live 5 News, claiming that numbers we reported were incorrect. But after going back and checking our numbers for both Dorchester and Charleston counties, the numbers we reported are correct. Reporting in North Charleston, Abby O'Brien, Live 5 News.
A University of South Carolina fraternity has been suspended after university officials say they found evidence of hazing. Lambda Chi Alpha has been suspended until at least August of 2023. In a statement, a university spokesman said this: hazing is not tolerated at the University of South Carolina, and those who engage in the practice face disciplinary action, saying the university has extensive training for fraternities and sororities on campus. The university is helping Lambda Chi members find alternative housing. New at 5, as we celebrate the men and women who've served our country so well this Veterans Day, lawmakers in our state consider a big thank you that they want to give to veterans too.
Jason Raven joins us now live in downtown Columbia. So Jason, what changes are we talking about?
Well, Ann and Bill, for some service members in the armed forces, they begin their military careers here in the Palmetto State, whether it's at Fort Jackson here in Columbia or down in Beaufort County at Parris Island. Lawmakers want to make sure that they want to end their careers here as well. A bill making its way through the State House, the Workforce Enhancement and Military Recognition Act, would exempt veteran pension plans from being taxed in South Carolina. A handful of states have done this, including North Carolina and Florida. Now, right now in South Carolina, veterans under the age of 65 can claim state tax exemptions of up to $14,600 for 2019. Now, veterans who are over 65 can claim an exemption of up to $27,000. Now, those in support of this legislation say this will make South Carolina a more attractive state for veterans.
With us being able to change something like that, it's going to increase the number of military and veterans and the families that come to the Midlands, that come to South Carolina. It's going to have a huge economic impact, and it's just overall going to make us a more patriotic state.
Now, officials say there are a little more than 19,000 veterans in the state right now. There is some concern with this change that the state would lose some of the income tax revenue, but supporters of the bill believe they'll make up for it with the extra veterans coming to the state and with all that economic impact it could bring. Now, lawmakers also filed a bill this session that would exempt veterans from paying sales tax on Veterans Day. Now, that bill has yet to have a hearing. Live in downtown Columbia, Jason Raven, Live 5 News.
And the Workforce Enhancement and Military Recognition Act passed unanimously in the House. Now it's in the Senate Finance Committee. Lawmakers head back to Columbia in January.
Another challenge for many veterans, and that is finding a job after they finish their service. The State Department of Employment and Workforce says the unemployment rate for veterans here in South Carolina has gotten better in the past couple of years. It went from 5% in 2016 down to 3.3% last year. Still, though, thousands of veterans do not have jobs in our state. Paul Tant lives in the Midlands. He enlisted in the Army in 1988 and served for 2 years. Even after training as a medical specialist, Tant says he's struggling to hold down a job ever since he was discharged.
It's very frustrating. Like I said, I've served my country, I've served my community. I have more than enough qualifications, but It's very frustrating.
If you're a veteran, don't be afraid to access the benefits you're entitled to at the VA. You earned them through service to your country, and they have a lot to offer.
Last year, the University of South Carolina School of Law opened a Veterans Legal Clinic. It offers free services to veterans who qualify. The State Department of Employment and Workforce offers resume help to veterans and a number of other resources too. We have a link to all of them on our website. Go to live5news.com and look for the big red box.
And we want to remember one special veteran today with ties to the Low Country.
Frank Curry, one of 3 surviving Medal of Honor recipients from World War II. He died last month.
Mr. Curry was 94 years old. He and his wife had a home near Pawleys Island. He went to the White House every year and spoke around the country. We want to thank Mr. Curry and all of our veterans for their service.
Now, your first alert forecast from Live 5 News.
Great man right there. Met a lot of great folks, even some World War II folks today up in North Charleston at the Veterans Day celebration up there, and also this morning out at Sam's. I'll show you some video of that at 6. Hey, here we are talking about the next big weather thing and what that's going to be. Get ready for it. Buckle your seatbelts. The next cold snap, and it starts with some rain tomorrow thanks to this cold front right here. It's going to be diving down into the south. Again, this could be the coldest of the season so far as that cold air blows in. Tomorrow will be mild early, but look at how the temperatures are going to change once that cold front moves on in. So by morning, they'll probably be in the 60s, by 72 by lunch, and then boom, boom, boom. Look at this, by 5 o'clock around 50 degrees. And add wind to that. The wind will make it feel even colder, so it's going to be gusty tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Bundle up. We're talking about grabbing some pretty chilly weather heading our way as we head up into tomorrow night, during the overnight into Wednesday morning. So it is going to be a chilly one starting, like I said, you can see that temperature trend on into tomorrow. First Alert Super Doppler Max does show what's going on. This storm also has a lot of snow, not for us, but for the Northeast and all the way back across the Great Lakes. In fact, an airplane went off the runway out there at Chicago today. A lot of snow continues up that way, early snow. But for us, we are talking about a dry evening. If you are going out over the next couple hours, shouldn't be a big weather problem out there with First Alert Super Doppler Max. I just showed this picture a few minutes ago. I just tweeted this out. If you got the Twitter or the Facebook, check out the picture because this just had a beautiful sunset with the star going, look like a star, the star effect out there. So check that out if you love a beautiful sunset. That is pure Charleston right there with the temperature from our Charleston Harbor Fish House sky cam at 68 degrees, southwest wind at about 5. We got up to 71, which is about where we should be this time of the year. And the barometer, still falling off a little bit, 29.88 inches of mercury. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the numbers around the Low Country. We're looking at 61 Moncks Corner, 66 Somerville, 64 Orangeburg, Walterboro, the Low Country's front porch. It's 69, and of course Kingstree and Neesmith, the home of, and McGill. Yes, at 63. A lot of great vets up in beautiful Williamsburg County, as well as out to Andrews and Georgetown, 63. Still some 60s down along the south coast. Hour by hour, you're going out this evening, 59 by 7 o'clock, about 59 by 8 o'clock, upper 50s by 9. So we're going to stay cool, but not bad. Clouds will increase, but I don't expect any precipitation. Then overnight tonight, pretty much in the 50s, probably lower to mid 50s back inland, maybe a few upper 50s, upper 40s out toward Kingstree, 53 Georgetown, 54 Mount Pleasant. So cool to kick it off tomorrow. And then we'll warm up by lunch, and like I said, then those temperatures are going to start to fall. Future tracker out the door in the morning. This is not looking too bad. 6 a.m., just some clouds, but watch this. I'm going to put the clock into motion. There it is. By lunchtime, we're talking about increasing clouds. Here comes the rain right across I-95, and then after lunch, by the time you get out of work, kind of a wet drive home tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. I'll put the clock into motion again, and boom, look at this. We are talking about clearing out and turning much colder. Bottom line, our eye is on your next 24 hours as we roll into the evening hours, fair and relatively comfortable. And then for tomorrow, the increasing clouds will start overnight, and then boom, there it is, rain developing, and it will be on the windy side again tomorrow. In fact, we've got small craft advisories flying in the harbor, gale warnings offshore. Winds are going to be out of the northwest at about 15 to 20, gusty with showers. High tide is in the morning. All right, we always start with the weekend first. So we have a cold blast coming for for the middle of the week. But look at this, by the weekend, we're still chilly. Still about 60 on Friday, 62 Saturday, 63 Sunday. Remember, we should be 71, 72 for this time of the year, so we're going to still be a little bit chilly. Could even see a few showers toward the weekend. As we deep dive into the 7-day forecast, I'll call your attention to Wednesday. That's in red. Why is it in red? We call it first alert weather days, and you get more information more often, just because mostly it's going to be a very cold day, very windy. Look at the high, 49. That could be a record low high temperature. You with me there? Yes. Isn't that crazy? Wow. And then into the week, we do stay cool. Temperatures stay in the 60s. How about that? All right, what about traffic? Let's check that out. Danielle Prince, how are we doing on the roads?
Well, it is a slow go if you're heading through downtown Charleston right now. We do have one issue to give you the first alert to. It is a crash reported in the crosstown right at Ashley Avenue. So getting off the Ashley River Bridge, northbound side, it is bumper to bumper, although I am noticing those speeds now improving heading through the crosstown. So that is good news. Keep in mind, we still have that water main break issue. So that exit getting onto Lockwood Boulevard South is blocked. So heading downtown, continue straight onto Calhoun Street. We'll be right back.